Hello people! In this video I'm going to create a Wikipedia search engine that you can use, as you can see here, and it's going to bring you back the first 10 results. You can change the number of results you want to change if you want to. So for example, if I type in software, it brings up the first 10 results, and you can go to the web page, open source software, or if we type something else, cars, or let's say Disneyland, then we can click on the link and we can go to the relevant page. So to do this, I'm going to first create a React app. So I'm going to go to my VS Code and create npx create React app practice 5 and wait for that to all finish up. And once that is all finished up, then I go to the folder that's inside it. So practice 5, select folder. And then I'm going to go straight to the app.js file. And I'm going to get rid of all this. And here we're going to say h1 Wikipedia search engine and create a form. And an input tag, type text, value is going to be blank for now, and on change we're going to run a function that I don't have yet, but I will create it in a bit. So placeholder is going to be search Wikipedia articles, and then button type submit, and on click I want to run another different function, and here we're going to say wiki search results, which is going to be an array variable. So here actually we're going to create this and change this into a class. So change this into a class by doing class app extends React component. Get rid of that. And then change this to render and copy and paste this back in there. And let's see what we have so far. npm start. And we have an error. On change, we have to put something in here now. So let's say on change, this change wiki search terms, and we're going to create a function for that. So change wiki search terms is equal to arrow function, and then we're going to put an E for event. This set state wiki search terms and target value, event target value. And at the very top, we're going to create a set constructor with the set state inside it. Constructor props. Whoops. Yep, super props. And here we're going to say it's this state wiki search terms is equal to blank when the page is first loaded. Now let's see if it's working. On click, so on click we need a function here as well. So this is going to be this use wiki search engine, and we're going to create a function for this as well. This function is going to be the main function that's going to run this app. And now I think it should work. Wiki search results is not defined. Wiki search results, whereas this is line 31. Wiki search results here. Let's define that inside render. This is this variable is going to contain an array that's going to sort of sort through the arrays from the variable created from the use wiki search engine function, and then change it to be displayable in HTML format in the render area or in the return section. So here I'm going to say let wiki search result equal to empty array, and now it should work. So we have that going on here so far. So let's type in search here, and we have something very basic. So let's go to the functionality. Let's go to change wiki search terms. That's going to change the value here. So it's not working at the moment. So let's see what's going on here. Logo is not used, so let's delete that, see if it works now. Nope, nothing shows. Let's figure out why that is. I think it's because the value here is not laid out. So let's say this state dot wiki search terms. Now it's working. And there's a controlled uncontrolled some error here that pops up, so you can read through it here on the link on what that's all about. I'm going to just go ahead and fix it right now. So let's write right here or blank, and that fixes it. You can go through the article and see why that fixes it. I'm just going to fix it for now. And then we're going to go to the fun part, which is the use wiki search engine function. So first things first, we're going to put e there and then say prevent default, because this is the submit button. E prevent default. There we go. So it's not working. this set state wiki. This is to reset the form. So wiki search return values is going to be empty. And let's go ahead and create this variable here. Wiki search return values is an array. So on button click, it's going to refresh. So for example, oops. So for example, if we go here, we type something in and then we go new item. Then we click search. It first refreshes everything and then shows everything that's needed to show up afterwards. So it's kind of refreshing the page. That's what this is doing here. The emptying part, emptying the variable so that we can insert new variables in. And next we're going to do something interesting. I'm going to create a variable called constant variable called pointer to this, and it's going to be this. So basically what that is if we console log here and if we go this, whoops, yep, if we go that and we type in something, this value is basically that at that point what that is. So that's we have the state, we have props, which I don't have anything inside, and basically we have the states here. Wiki search term is ASDF, wiki search return values is blank since we reset it, and wiki search terms is blank there. I'm not sure how that works, but that's blank there. So that's what that is, and we don't need to type that in here, so I'm just going to delete it. And then we can go to variable URL HTTPS. So this is basically if we go to Wikipedia search API, we can, it's something like this. It's variable Nelson Mandela format JSON, then the URL origins, and then we basically do a fetch function here. So that's what I'm going to do. So HTTPS and wikipedia.org wapi.php. So this is straight from the documentation. Var params is equal to action query list search. Search term is this state wiki search terms format JSON. And then the URL is going to be URL plus origin object keys params for each key, and then URL and key, whoops, this is going to loop through the parameter variables and then assign it and then reattach it to the URL in the way that's appropriate for the documentation. I think, is that right? Oh, before you, pointer to this is assigned, or right, that's not used yet, will be used very shortly. So now that we have the URL properly formatted, we can go ahead and do a fetch call. Fetch URL. Then do a then to return the response in a JSON format. Return response JSON. Whoops, let's redo that. Then function response, return response in JSON format like that. Then do another then function. Function response. Then we do a for variable key in response.query.search. So basically, what's happening here is if we do a console.log.response here, and 46 keys assigned but not used. Okay. So if we go back to our app and type in ASDF search, we get a query here. And then if I type in search query, and we get this object here. So I want to kind of get the page ID, the snippet, the title, such like that. So if I want to get the page ID, for example, I copy the property path and I type it in here. So if I type in console log response dot query dot search dot page ID, and then I think I just need just to do that, then I get a page ID like that. So that's basically what that's doing. I'm going to comment that out. So here in the for loop, we're going to say pointer to this, which is finally used, the variable that we defined earlier. And then we do pointer to this dot state dot wiki search return values dot push. So inside the push, we do query result page full URL. It's going to be empty, no link. That's just to I'll show you later what we're doing. Whoops. Let's see. Expected that. Pointer to this state wiki search return values dot push. Right. I need a curly brace tag. Then query result page ID is equal to response query, or I can just copy and paste what I have over here since that's the page ID. And instead of 0, I put in keys. And copy that down, and then I'm going to next get the page title, response query search page title like that. Next I want the page snippet, This is going to be the summary or the information summary that's shown in the search result page before you click on the link to the actual full page. So snippet, then one more time. This is going to be word count. Actually, I don't think I used the word count, so let's leave that out. You can enter it inside if you want to, but I'm just gonna leave it out for now. At least I didn't use it in my demo application. Then once we have the for loop done, then we want to create another then function. And here we have another fun thing that we're doing. For variable, now this time I'm going to say key2 and pointer to this state wiki search return values. Let's see what I'm doing here. Let page is equal to pointer to this state page ID is equal to pointer to this state wiki search return values key2, then query. Actually, I'm going to end it right there, and then this is going to be page. Let page ID is equal to page dot query result page ID. That's a shorter way to do that. And then straight from the documentation, I'm going to say URL for retrieving page URL by page ID, and I'm going to copy and paste the URL that I'm going to use right there. And then note that I used backticks so I can enter in some JavaScript there, and then I entered in the page ID variable. So remember to do that. That's the proper way to do that, since we're going to be using the page ID dynamically there. And then I'm going to say fetch, do another fetch, and then fetch URL for retrieving page ID. Then function response to get the JSON format again. Return response.json. Then do another then. Function response. And this is to get the URL. Page.query result page full URL is equal to response.query.pages page ID full URL. And this is important. We need to do a pointer to this .force update. Otherwise, the way that the lifecycle hook works, state lifecycle hook works, is we need to do this here to get the since we're doing a double fetch, we're doing a fetch within a fetch. We have to do this to make sure that the variable is displayed at the very outside. Otherwise, the variable won't be rendered at the proper stage for us to be able to use it in the render section. So let's see what we have here so far. If I bring up the console log, ASDF, property cannot read, 0 of undefined. Line number 59, pointer to this. Let's see why that is so. Cannot read property. Okay guys, so I had an error here, so I had a spelling mistake. This E has to be a lowercase e. Then console log, I don't have to do that anymore. Then if I do ASDF, something should pop up. No, I don't have anything pop up. So basically, if I have the console log available there, if I do ASDF, then I get results like this ASDF, another system definition facility, Cordy, Alabama State Defense Force. So I have these show up. So I'm just going to remove the console log there since I don't need it at the moment. But we can know that it's all working fine right now. Then so basically what this is doing is it's going to the page and then going to that variable and then adding the full URL variable. So the way that this works is, the reason I'm doing this is because to get the URL, when I first do the console log here, if I do the console log here, response, if I do that, and I go back to my application, whoops, we get a batch, and if we go to query search, we have the page ID, which is, where's the page ID? We have the page ID, but we don't have the URL link for the Wikipedia article, the actual article page. We only have the page ID, so we have to re-enter. We have to do a second fetch where I'm using where is it? Second fetch. So second fetch is right here. So I have to use this link to get using the page ID here, and then this will return the URL in JSON format. So I think this part means I'm getting the URL, and this means I'm inputting the page ID. So that's basically what that is doing. And if I console log, remove that console log response, now we have, if we console log this, if we console log, say here we do console log of this variable right here, like that. Line 90 Wikipedia search, right? We have to do this dot state, like that. It starts out as empty, but if I do search, then I get one of these where the query result page full URL is now it has something inside it, whereas before I said it was no link. Whereas initially I entered it as no link. Now this variable that I created actually has the correct variable, correct input data. So now that we've done that, we're going to go back here, console log this out, and we're going to actually display it in our URL. So for var key3 and this state wiki search return values, we're going to say wiki search results dot push. That's this one right here. And we're going to put a div name of search result div with a key of key3, and in the h3 tag we're going to create a link, and in this link this link we have to do without the quotes. This link is going to be this state wiki search return values key3, then query result page full URL like that, and then inside we're going to just copy and paste this, actually just this part, and it's going to be query result page title like that. And then we're going to create a span tag, and this will be class name of link. And inside we're going to create a link, and once again I don't need that, and copy and paste this URL. Whoops, like that. And then we're going to create an area for the description, so class name description with the paragraph tag. And then we have, because we want to put dynamic HTML content in here, we have to use a function called dangerously set inner HTML. That's actual React property. Interesting naming for that. Then we do underscore underscore HTML. This state wiki search return values key3, then query result page snippet. And then that should all get shown down there. So if we do ASDF, let's see, why is that working? ASDF. Nope, nothing is showing up. Let's see if I do console log, is this working? Yep, that's working. And the for loop is working as well. Then the wiki search results, it should work. Let's do a page inspection, body root, app, form. So there's nothing after the form, so it's not showing up where it should be showing up. So I had the same error as I had before. We have a spelling error. So if I do that, I think it should work now. There you go. So we have information that's popping up. So make sure I had I don't know why I keep on doing that. I had a capital E in there in the returns area. So if we do software architect, enter, we have software architect showing up. So now let's do a little bit of the CSS. So app CSS, going to go there. And I'm going to remove all this since I don't need that. And then I'm going to go to Google Fonts, Google Font Lobster. select this font, and then select this font, do import, import it right there. Then margin of 0, padding of 0, then box sizing, border box. First things first, app width, I want it to be, doesn't really matter too much. Margin 0 auto, text align center, font family, Roboto, sans serif. Margin top is 50 pixels. So it looks like that. And then the H1. Font size, 50 pixels. Font family. Oops, font. Can't spell today. Font size. Font family is lobster, and then cursive. The margin bottom of 20 pixels. So it looks like that. I'm just gonna leave it right here. So if you type everything out, it still shows up like this. So we're gonna style that up a little bit. App form, display, inline block, border radius, 20 pixels, box shadow is going to be 0, 0, 19 pixels, 1 pixels, RGBA, 0, 0, 0, 0.39. I think that's working. And margin bottom of 30 pixels. And then app input, line height is equal to 40 pixels. Border radius is 20 pixels, 0, 0, 20 pixels. So it's both on the left side. Then border is equal to none. Width is equal to 400 pixels, and padding is equal to 0, and then 20 pixels, like that. Then app input focus outline. Also, right now if we, right now if we look at it, if we type that, there's an outline, so we don't want that. So outline none. Then when we click on it, there's nothing there. So now we have to go ahead and click on, we have to format the search button. So app button, line height 40 pixels, border none, background color is going to be F6, F6, F6. Padding is going to be 0 and 20 pixels. Border radius is going to be 0, 20 pixel, 0, so that's both on the right side. And cursor is going to be pointer. So if we go back here, it's a pointer now. And then when the app, so now when I click on this, keep forgetting I can't do that. So if I click on it, there's that blue purple line, so I'm going to remove that. App button focus, outline none. So now if I click on it, there's nothing that happens. Then next is search result div with 800 pixels, margin 0 auto, text align left, margin bottom 20 pixels. So there you go, we have a little bit of formatting there. Remember, this is how it looks like. So we have the search, whoops, we have the search result div right there. Then search result div h3. Color is going to be 1A0DAB. I think that's right. Then search result div h3a tag. It's going to be color of same color. And then display inline block, line height of 16 pixels, and text decoration of none. So we have this so far. Search result div, and then we're going to do h3a hover. Since we do want a border bottom, 3 pixel solid. So this is where I created an inline block and then a line height of 16 pixels. So that's to style the position of the underline. If I do line height of, let's say, 20 pixels, just as an example, the line height goes down more. So I want it to be at 16 pixel. That's where that because you can't directly do that with text decoration. So I'm, instead of using an underline of text decoration, I'm saying underline of text decoration of none, and then line height of 16 pixel and a border bottom of 3 pixel solid. And border bottom is solid. That's done. And then search results div a visited. Whoops. Search result a visited is going to be color of 1A0DAB. Then link a text decoration none, color of 287E44. So we have that color going on there. And link a hover, text decoration, and there's already none, but I'm just making sure. And then we're going to, if we go look at the snippets, I can't show you guys here, but actually I think I can. If we look at here, if we look at inspect, there are search match. See here, there's a search match. If we open up description, there's blah 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 blah, and then there should be a search match. Whoops, not in that one, I guess. Here there's a search match span tag, so we're going to target that. Search match, font weight of bold, then search result div, and then description, color of 414141. I think the description should, can't spell today, result with a lowercase e, and there you go. So we have it completely formatted, and we can go to, let's say, cars film, and there we go. We have it all formatted completely, and that's how. And you can change how many results you can show up. Right now we have 10 results show up, but you can change that up to a number of 500. You can go read the Wikipedia API documentation on how to do that. So that's how you create a simple Wikipedia search engine. And I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.